All right, we're going to do another example here where we're going to look at three pieces. It's going to 3 pieces. See if you guys can do all right with it. So we're going to have f of x instead of y this time. I'll have 3 portions. Okay. So we'll start out with negative x. Oh, come on. Negative x squared plus 4 when x is less than -2. And then we're going to have the absolute value of x minus 2 when x is greater than or equal to -2, but less than or equal to 3. And then I'm going to have -4 when x is greater than 3. So that's my function. It's in 3 parts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some numbers to evaluate, and I want you to try and get, if you can get a good sketch, what the graph's going to look like. So here's some numbers. Let's find f of 3, f of 4, f of 0, f of 1, f of -2, f of -1, and f of -5. Okay, so we're going to pause right here and try and work with this out. Okay, we're back. So which values did fit in this first one? That's the only one, right? It's the only one less than -2. Okay, we take the -5 squared is 25, then that becomes negative again. You're right, -21. And you ask, I'm probably not going to squeeze that onto my graph, but I do know its function value. So I'm going to hold off by graphing that. And then how many fit in this piece? Most of them? Okay, so -2, 0, 1, -1, 3. So we only had 1 on each side. Okay, so let's go ahead and find these. This is just take their absolute value and -2. So 3 minus 2, 0 minus 2, 1 minus 2, -2 minus 2, -1, or +1. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. 2 minus 2 is 0, and then 1 minus 2. Okay, and then we had one piece over here. That's just -4. So when we talk about how to do the evaluating, you guys are okay with evaluating, right? This. So the graphing, we want to be careful because now we have 2 numbers there and here that are dividing up our graph. There's 3 pieces, 3 rules. So at -2, we want to have a division there. You don't have to draw it, but it sometimes helps. Just a light dashed line, helping you see that there's, to the left, we want this graph. In the middle, we want this graph. And on the right, we want this graph. So everything that's greater than 3, we're going to get -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then where do I do going to the left? Right here. An open circle, right? Because it's over this. Because at 3, that's where that piece starts. If it's bigger than 3, it's going to be that value. But at 3, it switches to the other one. Okay, that's our blue portion to color code. And then we've got the middle piece is an absolute value graph, and it's shifted down, right? So the V comes down here. we're going to have open or closed circle. Closed for business. Open or closed here? Closed. All right, so that's our yellow portion. And then you're asking, like, do I want to graph negative 21? Do you guys want to draw negative 21? Not really. So one way you can do it is you can kind of make up your own points. So let's start with the boundary right here. Well, at negative 2, if I did plug it in here, what would I get? Okay. So this actually is, the open circle is around that same, use a different color. So if I were to plug that in there, negative 2 squared, you're right, it would equal 0. So that means it starts at the same place that that one ends. And then I could check, negative 3 or negative 4. They're not going to be as far away. So negative 3 would give us 9. Negative 9 plus 4 would be negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a glitch in my smartboard. It won't draw a straight line. See how if I draw straight like this? So see if I can oh, I almost made it. Okay, I'm babbling here.